actualization of self. Like you said, becoming the person who can make the money is much more fun than actually making the money.
Yeah.
You know, just seeing, hey, 3 months ago I was doing this. I've changed a few things along the way. I kept going, and now I'm this.
Mm-hmm. Right, guys, welcome to a new podcast. Today I'm joined by Rene. He is one of our students, and today we're going to share his story. Just going to have a conversation. We'll see where it ends. Maybe let's just start off again with a quick introduction.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. My name is Rene, 22 years old. Started with Ecom about 2 years ago now. Do you want the full story or the short story?
Just let's start off with the short story, and then I'll get into the to the juicy
so,
stuff.
Came into high school, didn't like it. Eventually ended up doing music, so went to music school from high school. Tried doing that for a few years, didn't work out. Eventually came into ecom, as I had to go to normal school once again, and did that for a year. Failed once again. Came out with you. I came to your course, followed your course, and within a few months, things just picked up, and things started going well.
Great. That's a clear and short version. Usually, what I do in this podcast is just go over like your story from the childhood. Don't have to go into like anything like too deep or personal, but you're always welcome to if you want. But let's just start off like at the very beginning. How was your childhood? Where did you grow up? What was it like?
Yeah. So I grew up in the Netherlands, of course, in a small city near Eindhoven.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in the south of the country.
Mm-hmm.
So my childhood wasn't bad, pretty okay. But from young on, my parents always told me you need to get a good job, steady job.
Mm-hmm.
You need to go to school,
Yeah.
do all the good things. And with my sister, that really stuck with her. Like she really followed that path. But for me, I think when I was 14, 15, I started doing things differently already.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started to rebel a bit, dress different, got into music. And when I was like 16, everybody was kind of deciding like, yo, this is what I want to do when I'm finished with high school.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I didn't like anything in particular, except for making music. So at that time, that was kind of what I had my vision geared towards. Like I want to do music, I want to make beats for people. That's what I liked at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't really convince my parents to let me do that. Because like I said, we came from a good background. We were kind of expected to go to university, go to good schools. So at the moment, I kind of just pushed the decision off a little bit and made it so that I didn't have to make the decision just right there on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
So then 1 year went by, and actually by that time, the first few pieces of music I actually sent to people, those got placed. And they got quite some views, got quite some streams. So for me, this kind of was a moment where I was like, okay, people are picking up what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting some streams. People started recognizing me. I thought, okay, this might be the moment to just go for it. So then I went into music school. I had to convince my parents to actually let me go. That was pretty tough, but
and
they
this
let
is
me.
after you finished high school?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like the university for music, college, whatever.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I started doing that. When I came in there, I was kind of at my peak already.
Mm-hmm.
So the moment I came in was the moment, like cloud-wise, I was on my best. So that's when people knew my music, when stuff was going well. And actually, while I was in music school, things only went down. So I kind of saw this already. I realized like, hey, it's not really me.
Mm-hmm.
Like this whole lifestyle is not really me. I realized that pretty early on. But at the same time,
What kind of music did you make?
I made hip-hop.
Okay. And
So I made beats and stuff.
okay, so it's like I don't know, like Young Felix or for the Dutch people, like just making beats, not like actually rapping or singing yourself.
Yeah,
Okay.
just making the beats.
Okay. And is this something that you had as a child? Like, is this something you had a passion for all along, or is it something that started like when you're in your teenage years?
I want to say when I was like 12.
Okay.
That's when it started.
Okay. Okay, and how like to go back a little bit, like in your school years, how did that go? How were you in school? Like everything's fine, or like making some trouble here and there? A lot of people that sit here across me, they make some trouble in school here and there, or they're not very good at school, whatever. How's that for you?
With me, I was pretty chill, so I
Okay.
didn't really cause any trouble. The main thing with me was just that I was never really trying to do anything. So I kind of did what was necessary sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I went a bit harder. But yeah, motivation was usually pretty low. I didn't try to excel because I know it's not what I'm made to do.
Mm-hmm. And the motivation was not there, I think, as well. Otherwise, you would have probably worked harder in school.
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay, so then you went to music school, figured out it wasn't for you. Did you drop out or did you finish it?
The thing was, I knew that if I drop out, I'm kind of breaking the commitment to myself. So doing music was actually like the first thing that I really committed myself to.
Mm-hmm.
So I know if I'm gonna quit early, I'm really showing myself that I can keep up with something.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to show myself if I do something, it might not work, but I'm gonna finish it out. Like I'm gonna make it to the end.
Yeah.
So while I was doing music school, I had this realization, but I knew I wanted to keep going. So to kind of fill that void and fill that gap, I tried to start other businesses while in music school,
Mm-hmm.
which in the end wasn't the smartest. Because if you try to water different plants at the same time, while you don't have one that's fully grown yet,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna really see results at all.
Yeah.
So I tried it,
What did you try?
but that didn't work.
Like what kind of different businesses did you try?
So in the first year, I tried social media marketing agency.
What year was this?
This was like the year COVID started.
Okay.
So like the fall before COVID started,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I tried setting this up.
That's 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So social media marketing. What else? What else do we have?
Giveaway pages
Giveaway
on
Instagram
Instagram. Yeah.
team pages.
Yeah,
Okay.
growing team pages, selling beats with sales funnels too. I tried
Okay.
doing that. Briefly tried rapping too.
Okay. Okay.
That wasn't for me also. So yeah, eventually all of those had failed. And then we came at the end of music school where kind of, now my parents were really like, okay, you've tried this thing, it didn't work,
Mm-hmm.
now it's time for you to go back to school. So that's when I went back to school, to like regular school.
Okay, so the music school is like a different kind of school. It's like not regular college or regular university. I mean, like if you have a degree in music and you're not doing anything in that field, it's probably not very useful.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I came from, like you know this, you are Dutch too. I came from VBO
Yeah.
and the music school was MBO.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So the qualification itself,
Yeah.
basically if you're not doing anything with music, even if you are doing something with music, it's really pointless.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
don't have anything with the degree.
Mm-hmm. And you did finish high school, so you did have your VWO. For the people that are not Dutch, it's like I don't know how it's in English, how it's rated, but it's like it's pretty high. Like it's for your high school degree. Do you have the high school degree for
Yeah.
VWO? It's like you can go to the top university. You can go to maybe not any university, but you can go to university
Mhm.
to the highest level. Okay, so music school finished. And then
Back to school?
back to school, back to university.
Yeah, to HBO.
Okay, why not to university?
The HBO was really the only one that had like a division for business.
Mm.
So I knew if I'm gonna do something again, I want to do something with business.
Okay.
Economics and stuff didn't really. It did sound interesting to me,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't really my call.
So you like entrepreneurship?
Yeah.
Like Luca and William and Flint, I think all doing this study. I'm not exactly sure what it's
Small
called.
business and retail management.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a different one. I think you have another one that's like like entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
But okay, so you did small business and retail management. All right. Okay, and then we're in 2020 or later.
Right now, 2022.
Oh, okay. So
just last year.
Yeah. That's when you started to study?
Oh, that was 2021.
Okay. So you were in music school until 2021?
Yeah.
And then you did the study?
Mm.
Okay. Go on. What happened from there?
So, came there. And I think this time, previously in high school, I didn't really do much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just felt like this time, if I'm going to show up, I'm at least going to try my best. So while I was going, I did do my best, got good grades, didn't really come late. So pretty strict with that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I know this is not what I want to do. So really just when music school stopped, that's when I made the switch like, yo, I'm going to stop this now. This is not what I'm going to focus on. And I think 2 weeks later, I started dropshipping. Because I know like, hey, if I'm going to take a big break now and I'm going to stop pursuing something, a big gap is going to come.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of knew, okay, if I'm going to stop this, I'm just going to focus on something else. So that was dropshipping for me at the time. And actually, I tested 2 products on Facebook. Those didn't work. Then I went to TikTok. And then actually my first product was a winner. It's like the first product I tested on TikTok.
Okay.
It was a winner. Started doing like 500-600 a day, which at the time was crazy.
Yeah.
Because I didn't make money ever.
And how much did you test on Facebook before?
Like 2.
Okay. And this is in 2021. Did you have a course or something?
No.
No course, just
YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. And where did you sell? In the Netherlands?
USA.
Okay, yeah, because I think most content on YouTube is for USA probably.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you're very lucky. If your third product is a winner, you're very lucky.
Pretty much, yeah. Because looking back at it, my strategy was it was all over the place. Like it's just doing the ads like this guy, making the page like this guy, and then giving your own twist to it too, even though you don't know what you should do. So yeah, it worked for a few days, and then it broke. But now I have this mindset that I know how dropshipping works, because I've seen it once.
Yeah.
So that led to me trying it for like 6-7 months, and just failing every time. So the first product was a winner. After that, nothing I was doing just even barely worked. Like I didn't get any sales, like nothing. So eventually, in like, I think it was February of 2022, like I saw your courses on YouTube, and just the content itself for it was like golden. Like I really could feel myself in that. And I was like, okay, I've tried TikTok, I've tried Facebook. Maybe this is something new. There's something that is a strategy that does work for me. And at that time, I told you, like, I've done 5-6 businesses, nothing worked. Let me just, for once, shut up and take all of the advice from someone else. Because at that time, really, I was just going off YouTube and thinking what I think will work.
Yeah.
But I've gotten quite a lot of feedback from the market that it wasn't working.
Yeah.
So I made that switch.
I remember that you're like very clear on like, okay, I'm just gonna do everything you say, and that's I mean, we say this all the time. I literally just talked about this with Bart. Like sometimes people come to us and they want to push their own thing, even though they come to us for help. So that's great. I just said to Bart, I'm very happy if a student comes in and they say, hey, I'm just gonna do what you say. Helps a lot if they don't try to do their own stuff. Okay, so tried Facebook, tried TikTok, tried a ton of other businesses. What did you learn so far? Like, beside maybe it's better to look for help, but at that point, like when you started, you didn't have experience with getting coached either. So why did you continue to try to set up a business, even though you got like 4 or 5 times you got like the the result pretty much that it doesn't work. Like you got the feedback, hey, setting up a business doesn't work for 5 times, and you still continue. What was it inside you that made you continue and even invest more into a program?
I think at that time the main thing for me was when I was like 15, 16, my dad got fired. And a little background about him, he has been working in the same job for like 35 years. He worked his entire life for the same company.
Mm-hmm.
So he pretty much dedicated himself to that one company. And what he was seeing over the years, like when he was like working there for 30 years, 31 years, a lot of jobs started getting outsourced from the Netherlands to India. So for like 5 years, he was living in fear. Like he knew the day was going to come where he would wake up and he didn't have a job no more.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's 60. And basically if you're 60 in Netherlands, you get unemployed, try finding a good job.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to happen. You know, so I saw that. I thought to myself, okay, this man has worked his entire life for me, for my sister, for my mother, to support us. And they just push him out like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that made me realize, okay, if I'm going that path, something like this can happen every day. Like nowadays it's even more common.
Yeah.
You work in a job for a few years, people don't like you, you get pushed out. Things start changing in the company, you get pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that, and at the same time I always kind of knew like I want to build something. Building stuff, being creative,
Mm-hmm.
putting something together, that's always been the thing that really got me going. So I couldn't really imagine myself being in a life where I couldn't do that. So those things combined really made me push, because I kind of knew like if I could just keep going, eventually like it's gonna stick.
Mm-hmm.
I just need to find the moment.
Yeah.
That's all that's gonna take.
So and do you know like why that belief was so big? Because again, like you got the feedback, hey, it's not working. Did you ever like consider, hey, maybe I just should take a normal job? Maybe it's impossible for me, or was there always a belief, I just need to continue to try different things, and there will be one that's gonna work out?
I think one of the main things initially was just being in music. A lot of people in music, they rap about having a lot of money. They don't have a lot of money. But there's a few people that actually, you will meet them and they have something going on.
Mm-hmm.
So quite a lot of people that I would meet, they did music as a hobby.
Yeah.
So they had their business, they were making some money. Some of them made money with illegal things too, but they all were making money.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew the things I'm seeing online, the things I'm reading in these books, the people I'm seeing succeeding, like they do exist.
Yeah.
I'm meeting them face to face.
Yeah.
I know they are there.
Yeah.
And they are doing some things. They have developed themselves to a place where I'm simply not at yet
Mm-hmm.
at that time. So just seeing it, man. Seeing the people.
That helps a lot. That's you know, I also asked this to Bart, like where did your belief come from? And same thing for him. Even though he didn't know those people, he got into a course, and then there you see people that succeed. Same thing with me. I saw people, average people, truck drivers making a ton of money through e-commerce. So if you see it, then it's a lot easier to believe that you can do it as well. And especially if you've met them in person, so you're actually very lucky to meet those people. Of course, in how luck is debatable. Maybe you put yourself in a situation, or the universe, or whatever. But you're lucky that you met those people, because that helped you to believe that you can actually do it yourself as well. It's a lot harder if you've never met someone or seen someone beside the guru in the advertisement that is making a lot of money, which asks for your money to help them in return. But that, I think that helps a lot. So okay, tried everything, failed, kept going. What happened from there? We're in February 2022 right now.
When I came with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's like February at that time. So, I mean, after that, obviously things like had to change, because I was doing my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work. So, from that moment on, I just I wouldn't say that I did everything like you did, because sometimes I would edit a video myself, or I would like make a page myself, put in some more effort than what was required. But I think the main thing that really changed was that I was really just, whenever you guys told me something, like 20 minutes later I had done it. So I just kept doing that, tested a few products. And I think then in May, either April or May, I think May, yeah, I found the first one. That went really well.
And this was in the US, right?
Yeah.
You were selling in the US. Yeah, that's like, you were kind of like the perfect student. Like whenever we said something, you would just do it. No arguing, just do it. And fast too. Like a lot of people, some even expect that they will do it, that we will do it for them. But you're like, okay, I'm just gonna, and I remember also in the coachings, you just came to us with a list of questions. Hey, this is where I'm at. This is where I want to go. What do I need to do here? What do I need to do here? What do I need to do here? Very structured. Is that something that you have found yourself as well? Like, is it something? Is that something that you just always work structured, or did you do it on purpose?
I think personally, like I think this was last year, I wouldn't even really consider myself structured back then yet. It was just for me at that time. Like I said, I've been trying so much. I have like these commitments to my parents too. Like at some point they start asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing? Isn't it time for you to stop right now, So
what
I told them, okay, within a few months I'm going to make it work.
What happened to school, by the way?
I quit.
Okay, that's important. So we have one more. Yes. Great.
Yeah, so by the way, thank you for that. Thank you for
thank you for making did you quit last year?
Yeah.
Oh, you were still in school when you came to us?
Yeah, initially, yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I found my first winning product.
Oh,
got it to work.
Sorry, parents.
At this point, they're happy too.
Okay.
Because I've now found something that actually works. So they're not mad.
Okay, great. Okay. Yeah, because we skipped over that part, but I think that's pretty important too. But I just wanted to go back like a little bit before about this, like the structure thing. Maybe structure is not the right word, like the discipline, like you executing really fast, showing up, being committed, putting in the work. It's definitely unique, even though for you maybe it's so like it makes so much sense. Like you pay for a coaching, so I'm gonna do the work. You'd be surprised how many people come to us, pay, and don't do anything for. Like we literally have people. It's funny. We had a student, and the only time we heard from him was after he paid. We didn't hear from him for half a year, and then he wanted to start. So he literally paid the money, didn't do anything for half a year. We had no idea. We tried to contact him.
That's crazy.
Couldn't hear from him, and all of a sudden he just sent a message. Hey, I'm ready to start. And there are more people
maybe
like
just
this.
some personal stuff in his life.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, but yeah, of course, like that could be like something personal. But there are more people that wait for so long, but also just people who they just don't really do it. Like they, like maybe like a couple minutes a day they check in or they do something again whenever they feel motivated. But a lot of people they don't do it. So it's unique. And my question is like, do you know like where you got it from? Like where did you get it, or is it something you already had, the discipline? Because from what I get from from your story, you always were pretty disciplined.
The thing is, I think with me it came from like, comparing it to other people, it came from pretty strange places. Like when I heard your story, when I heard like Gerben's story, other people. For most people it starts in the gym. People go gym, or people play video games. I think that for me was also the case. Like I just played a lot of video games, especially like World of Warcraft. Not World of Warcraft, Habbo Hotel.
Yeah.
I think you know it. So within games like that, you can actually gamble to make money, to make like in-game money.
Yeah.
So it started with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I got in the game. I just wanted to make as much money as possible. So in order for me to do that, I just had to play the game like all day. But then with music, like that commitment spoiled over into music. Because now with music, I want to make beats, right? So if I want to make beats, I gotta find people, I gotta make good beats.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew this is the only shot I'm gonna get. So now I'm stuck in my room for 2 or 3 years. And I was really just, every day of the week, I was just making beats. From like the moment I got out of school, if I would go to school, to the moment I came back.
if I go to school.
So looking back, my habits at that time, they really weren't good.
Uh-huh.
I would wake up late, eat bad food, smoke a lot of weed, like
Mm.
the typical music guy life.
Mm-hmm.
But I always had like this vision, if I want to do something, I just, even if at the time the hours I would put in were not quality, I need to put in hours. Otherwise it's not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I got into ecom,
Which is a
took that with
very
me.
very logical thought, by the way.
yeah,
Like
super logical.
yeah, if you want something, then you have to actually do it, right? Yeah, but yeah, that's it's interesting why people don't do it, because it's so obvious. But yeah, it makes sense that you got like the discipline from gaming when, like, that's at least one good thing from gaming. I think gaming is not very good for this world, for man,
That's the thing, man.
but a lot of people actually, like, personally for me, like whenever I played games, I was bored pretty fast. But
Yeah.
then you have these guys in RuneScape or World of Warcraft or what, any other popular game. They just grind in the game.
But the thing is,
But the game
I think
is designed to like keep you addicted.
that's the thing. That's the same conversation I had with my dad too, a few days ago actually. Like, really in this time, modern technology has made so many great things for us. But at the same time, really if you look at it, we're just like toys of these big companies. Like they control us all day and night.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, since it's so new, most people just don't know how to how to guard themselves from it. So they don't know how to protect themselves. And especially with games, when you go into a game, it's really easy to build yourself up in the game.
Yeah,
It's addicting. But building yourself up in real life,
the levels are a lot harder.
that's fucking tough, man.
Yeah.
And especially in a world where everything is designed to keep you distracted, like just most people are not gonna make that commitment to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really tough. Like it's not easy.
But that's the problem, right? Because you have this game where it's so easy to level up, and everything inside this game is designed to keep you interested, to reward you, to keep that dopamine flowing. And then you have the real life game where everything is a lot harder and you don't get all the dopamine shots that you do get in a game. It's hard to then choose for the real life game.
Talking about this, I think I might have something for the people at home. I just downloaded this app a few days ago. Basically, I'm not sure about the name. I can look up for the name a little bit, but it's an app which literally blocks you from being able to go to IG, going to TikTok, going to YouTube. You can't do anything. You can't open it. You can't delete it. You can do nothing with it. And you can also not go to it in browser. So if you're struggling with discipline and you keep opening these apps on your phone, let me just quickly check the name of the app.
Yeah.
So the
Alright.
app is App Block for iPhone.
App block.
Yeah.
I heard from it. I think I even have it on my phone. I don't know. I never use it because I do need to use it sometimes for work. And can you delete the app and then go to Instagram again?
Nope.
It's forever.
The thing is, like, you can decide how crazy you make it. So you can
Okay.
put a password on it, and only if you have the password you can unlock it. So what I did, I sent the password to a friend of mine and just deleted the message.
Okay. So he has like, there is a way to get it.
There is a way to get it.
Okay. Okay. And if you don't get it, you can never use Instagram on that phone again.
You cannot.
Shit. Okay. That's a big commitment. But that's like, I mean, if you make the decision that you don't want to spend time on these apps, then like any normal person would say, well, just delete it. But you know, if you're addicted to the app, even if it's just a couple minutes a day, like it's still a waste of focus, a waste of time. So if you don't have to use it for work, then I think it's a good commitment.
That's the thing. Plus, like, the best way to stop a habit is by killing the cue. Like, basically, every habit, you have like this loop of events, right? So you get triggered by something, then you start craving it, then you start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you hear someone laugh about a TikTok or something like that. Now you think, hey, I want to get entertained too. So you open up TikTok.
Yeah.
And if you close the possibility for yourself to even do that, then I think that's the easiest way to kill a habit.
Mm-hmm.
If you make it impossible for yourself to do it.
It's the easiest way.
Yeah.
For sure. I wouldn't say it's the best way. I would say the best way is the hard way, because then you build a lot of discipline.
Yeah.
Like if you would have your Instagram on the first page of your phone every time you open your phone, and you can access it, but every time you choose not to. That's like the best way, because that requires the most discipline. But then why make it hard for yourself? Like for some cases, some habits, you just need to not put yourself in a situation where you can use it, and then it's very easy if you've not done it for. I'd say normally they say like 21 days. If you do something or not do something for 21 days, and you're used to it, depending on what. I think for like smoking or drinking, maybe it's a little bit longer. But let's say if you've not done it for 3 months, you're used to it. Like.
But the thing then is to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Like many times after 3 months, you think to yourself, I don't need it no more.
Mm-hmm.
It's done for me now. Then you do it once. Now you're back.
Yeah. Then you need to delete it again.
Yeah.
You need to download the app again. Buy a new phone. Yeah. But that's great. That's great. Okay, let's get back to the story. We left off in May 2022. You got your first winner. How did that happen? Just business-wise, like what happened exactly?
For the product itself, it just was the right product at the right time. So it was one of the products you guys selected for me. Sent the list. You guys picked a few of them. Started testing them. I think this really was like only the 10th product that we tested.
10?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for this one, I did make my own video. That's one thing I did.
Mm-hmm.
Put it up live.
Your own video or from available content?
Just from available content.
Okay.
So I did make it myself, but I think 2-3 weeks went by and we started doing 1K a day. And that's where everything changed. That's when I thought, yo, I'm not coming back to school, you know.
Uh-huh.
At that time, it was like the week of finals too. So I had like the final exams for that year. Crazy pressure. 5 papers had to be done. All of the exams were in that week. Finished everything with an 8 average too, which was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then just... It was really tough because I had that winner going. I really wanted to do a bunch of things. But at the same time, I knew if I'm going to change a bunch of things now, I might just break the machine.
Yeah.
So I just did everything to optimize what I had, not touch it too much, don't do anything crazy, wait until I heard what you guys said to me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything myself, and then just move from that.
And what happened? Because if you say didn't do anything, don't want to touch it because don't want to break it, it can also be a bad thing, because and this happens to dropshippers or probably in other businesses too. Like they have a formula that works, they don't want to touch anything, and then the product dies out, for example. How did that go? Like,
Yeah, so that happened for me. Like one day, I got a DMCA.
mm-hmm.
So then the product was done, and I hadn't been testing because I just focused on that product. Because the thing back then, the years before that, I was doing so much and nothing really worked. So now that something was working,
Mm-hmm.
I had it previously where something like kind of worked a little bit, and then I changed something, now it stops working. So I just focused on what I had, tried different things, but kept it within the original framework that was proven to work.
Mm-hmm.
So when the DMCA came, then we had to go back from zero. But now I have this belief. I now know that I can make it work.
Yeah.
I just have to find new products.
Mm-hmm.
So did the same stuff, got to a decent level, but the profit margin was really badly. Was like 10%, like really not much, but that's what happens in USA quickly. So found a few new winners, got them running, and then Halloween came. And then I remember you told us, like, guys, in fall it's like the worst time for ecom, together with Q1 maybe, like February and March. I think you told us, like, when summer is done and people go back to work again, now it's a bad time. The only real opportunity for you right now is to go into Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a Halloween store that week, super quick. Like 2 or 3 days later I was running. And that's when I found my first big winner.
When is
like the big
Halloween?
one.
It's November.
It's like the 31st of October.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so you started in August?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. In August you can already start selling Halloween products. They already start selling. That's the thing with Halloween. Like, people, we don't even like celebrate it here in the Netherlands, or not a lot, I think.
Nah.
But people in the US, they are crazy for Halloween.
It's
like,
crazy. They have like calculated on average
they spend
Americans
a ton of money.
Yeah. Like, even people who don't, there's many people who don't celebrate it in USA too. But on average, like, every American person spends like 150, 200.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Calculating the ones who don't spend. So
That's crazy.
there's a bunch of money to be made.
Okay, so you got into Halloween.
Yeah.
And what happened? I know, but I don't know.
So found like 2 really good products, 2 or 3. I started selling those. All of a sudden I was doing 6K days, which at the time was like unreal. Because previously I was doing like 1K a day, 2K a day maybe. So that went pretty quickly. And then when that died off, I started focusing on Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So went into German markets. And that's where really from like October that year to just now, last month, we've been putting all of our focus in. So from there, from that Halloween store, everything just was consistent. Every month we kept going up. Like October we did 100. November 130. December 150. And it just kept going. Like from there I didn't have a bad month.
What's your best month so far?
225.
225. That's 225,000, not $225. And for the people that are watching, for the skeptics, like, how much profit are you making if you're doing 200K?
For me it was like 15 to 20%. It's like 35, 40K.
35 to 40,000. That's almost 2 average salaries, yearly salaries in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And this was in January?
This was in
Or February?
This was in March and April.
Okay. This year?
Yeah.
Okay. And in the German market, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's great, because not a lot of people have done both. What would you say is the big difference between the US market and the German market?
The thing with USA is that you can really get it to work. And if you get it to work, you can scale really fast. Like with those Halloween products, we went from 1K a day to 2K a day, 3K a day, 4K a day in just like 2 weeks. So super for Pinterest, that's really quickly.
Yeah.
Facebook not so much. Pinterest, that's quickly. With USA market as well, though, you have to optimize a lot more. So what we did, sometimes we would redo the product page like 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, until we get something that sticks. In Germany, for me, I feel like it's a lot easier to get something going. You don't have to put in as much effort. Downside is you can't scale as far. So really, if you're doing Europe, the best way for you to achieve scale, in my opinion, is to have a store in every country. So that's what we were doing too. Like we had the German market going, that was the main market. If something worked there, we started copying to other markets.
Mm-hmm.
That was until recently, when Pinterest kind of stopped working. Yeah.
Well, it looks to be doing pretty well since like a week again for a lot of people. So maybe start the machine again. But but do you feel like the skills that you've learned in the US market about the optimization, that you use it in the German market as well?
Yeah.
Because that's a big advantage you have, I feel like, because a lot of people start in Europe where it's a lot easier, where you don't have to do that many optimizations, but when you probably have a lot better understanding of how funnels work, how optimization works, how to sell a product. And if you take that to the German market, I mean, it can only improve your business. It can only get better, basically.
I think so too, man. I think like because what I'm seeing in Germany, I wouldn't necessarily say that the quality in US is better. Because if you look at shops like, I think you know Home Yard Markt. Home Yard Mart. Like these Chinese shops.
I don't know.
Like these really crappy Chinese shops. Bro, they are doing massive scale. They pump like 500k visitors to the store every month. And they're all from US.
Yeah.
So they are still doing, what they are doing still works. But if you really want to scale like one product big in US, like you said, you have to optimize. And many people in Germany, when they launch a product, the page is not the best. Image is not that great. Copy is not really engaging. Things don't really add up. But in Germany, you can still get away with it.
That's the thing. I see a lot of these Chinese stores in the US. Crappy stores. Beside maybe the fact that they have lower prices, how can they be so successful? That's the thing I'm never too sure about. I don't know if it's just because they have lower prices, because they ship it straight from China. So obviously we work through suppliers, so there's definitely a margin there that they don't have to pay. So it's usually priced a lot lower. Sometimes I come across stuff where I feel like this is probably just a scam. Like
many times.
But then maybe because they're from China, they get away with it as well. Or I feel like maybe, and you have these stores on Pinterest as well. I don't know the one you just mentioned if you got it from Pinterest, but I see these kinds of stores on Pinterest. They're on a different platform. They're not Shopify stores, but I can't think of what it is right now. We do have it on Pinspy.
I think,
but
what I'm hearing other people say is that these Chinese guys, they are just beasts at building systems. Like these guys, when you look at a lot of European dropshippers, Rowan, my coach, actually mentioned this morning as well, when we were doing like the conferential and stuff. Like with many dropshippers, their business has kind of been half built. Structure's not in place. Things not worked out well. I think these Chinese guys just operate on a whole different level. Like when I went to buy, I didn't speak to Chinese guys, but a few Malaysian guys. And when you see how they approach building systems and how they approach doing business, I don't know, just the energy feels a lot different. So it could be that too. That they just approach different business a whole different way.
That's the thing I feel like here too. And I talked about this recently with someone as well. Here in the Netherlands, like the dropshipping community, Netherlands, Germany, like Europe, maybe in the US a little bit as well. It's just not, people just don't think as big. Like we kind of stop once we have something that works, and then we grow fast, but maybe because it's easy, because you can do a lot yourself to get to like 5K a day, for example. You can do a lot yourself, but then we stop and we stay stuck around that level, which happened to me as well. Now for me, I've set up other businesses on the side as well, but like a lot of people who just do dropshipping, they kind of stop and continue to grow very slowly from there, because they don't like do what normal businesses do, what normal startups do. Like if you have a tech startup, it like it grows a lot faster if it's successful. Obviously, maybe the chance to be successful in that niche is a little bit more difficult, but they do more like the normal like corporate business approach or startup approach in scaling. And here I see that a lot of dropshippers, maybe it's also because we're young, like we don't have that much experience, but they kind of stop in like you said, building these processes, I think. And that's one thing I was thinking about too as well, like these Chinese stores, they maybe also just have a lot more products. Like they just see something that works, or they know that it works. They just build a store and they just put like a ton of products on there. And if you just have a lot more volume, then it's a lot easier to find something that works.
You are going to find something that works, even if the store is fucked up.
And then you build the process around it. Like, because that's the thing, like, right? If it made a lot or makes a lot more sense for people that start here in the West, when they start dropshipping and they find something that works, that they just sit down and think, hey, okay, so I have this formula here that works. If I just repeat this formula 1,000 times, I can grow my company really fast and really big. Now, of course, there are challenges that come with that, like cash flow and all that stuff. And the reason why we have these challenges maybe also because we just think too small, like maybe like a startup that has like a big vision just thinks, hey, I'm just gonna get capital somewhere else and fix all these issues and just focus on scaling. Instead, we just start focusing on these problems, these challenges, maybe just stay under a certain level to not deal with these challenges too much. But if you just take that formula and just build these systems to repeat that 1,000 times and even more beyond that, it's like you can scale like to infinity basically. Maybe that's what these Chinese stores are doing. They just see, okay, this works. Maybe they also don't have these cash flow problems. I don't know. But
plus they don't have as much costs. Like their product cost is way lower.
Yeah.
You can sell for lower.
Yeah. But also I think it's also just in the volume and just the mindset of, okay, I've just got to make sure I set up a process, systems, so that I can do what I've been doing to get to 5K a day, but I can do that 1,000 times in the same time and just make a lot more money.
Sometimes I start to think that all of these shops, because they look so alike,
just one business.
Yeah, there might just be one guy.
One guy.
One guy printing all this money.
It's hats off to this guy if it's one guy because it works but yeah, I don't know, maybe it's the cash flow things here in the West that blocks us from scaling that fast. I don't know what it is.
But they are using PayPal too.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different there.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different there. But yeah, but that shouldn't be a reason not to scale that fast. I mean, there's a solution for everything. As you know, probably by now, like in dropshipping, there's a solution
Everyone
for
got
everything.
a fix.
I think we can all scale a lot faster than we do. Just need to get into a different mindset and just focus on the different things. Like you'll get caught up in your business really fast in like managing things that shouldn't be managed by you, or you shouldn't even focus on. You shouldn't even fix. You just should focus on scaling before you start fixing those things. I mean, there are interesting books on this, on like how startups work. It's completely different from what we do as dropshippers. Like we keep it very small.
I think that's like one thing too, right? Like many of these guys who started dropshipping, me included, like we think so small. We think the ceiling is here, even though when you really think about it, there really is no ceiling. That doesn't have to be. And then all it takes, I remember this very clearly, like last May, you had like this day for Freecom, and Lucian and Florian, I believe, they came too.
Yeah.
And that was when I was just starting to do like 300 euros a day, 500 euros a day. And they asked me like, what is your goal? And I told them I want to do a 40K month before the end of the year. And for the people watching, that probably sounds like really crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think about it, like you just said, once you get a formula, once you have done this one time, you get the feedback from the market that it works. Now you just need to reverse engineer everything that you've been doing, and then you can keep doing it. And if you do it right, and you take the time to analyze how a bigger company is doing this, and you can do it effectively and efficiently, and now you can do way more. That's the thing. So,
Yeah.
plus you need someone to tell you this too. You need someone who's above you to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you can do more, you can do way more than this.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like if a CEO of a big company looks at one of our businesses, he's probably like, "Why are you not scaling? You're making this much profit. Why are you not scaling?"
But he has a skin in the game.
Yeah, he knows how to scale. That's the thing, and that's the thing. But that's just another level. Like there will always be something that you have to do in order to go to the next level, and at every level people stop, because otherwise, and it's, I mean, you could argue like it's impossible that everyone would have a big business, because it's like the bigger it is, the less people are on that level. So for every level is a plateau for a certain percentage of people.
I think in order to get to the next level, you just need to adjust the beliefs that you have about yourself. Like, what am I believing currently about myself that's holding me back from going to the next level?
Mm-hmm.
And who do I need to talk to change these beliefs about myself? And I think many of the guys who start making some results, they now start to realize, hey, many of the things I've been believing about myself and about the world around me, they might just have been in my head. Like, maybe they're not true at all. So constantly keep questioning those and keep seeing like, hey, maybe what I've been thinking is not the same as someone else's reality.
Yeah. Yeah. The big CEO has a completely different reality than what we have right now.
He has seen completely different things.
Yeah. For him, it makes so much sense to do something completely different than what we are doing right now, because he's already got that experience. But yeah, it's and you just need to change those beliefs. How do you change your beliefs right now in order to get to a new level?
The same thing I just said. Like, I talk to different people. For me, really,
But what kind of people? Like, for the people that want to, like, of course, like, we are now talking about like a bigger level, not for beginners maybe, but same thing applies to a beginner. You have to change your beliefs. But how, like, what people should you talk to?
The thing is, I don't even necessarily think you should. You don't even just have to talk to people. You can just find few people that have a worldview that you feel that you want to emulate. So for me, that's like a Luke Belmar. I don't know if you know Luke Belmar.
Yeah.
1 year ago, it was you. Like, I saw what you were doing, and I knew this guy has the results that I want. He's a calm guy, got his business going, doing steady, consistent work, consistent output, not just flashing his cars or anything like that. That's the guy that I want to listen to. That's the result I want to emulate. And at that time, you're marketing at the message like, hey, within 3 months, you can make 10K, 3K profit. That's exactly what I wanted. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to listen to this guy and see what beliefs he has. So when I came with you, you told us, go meditate, go read this book, go read the 7 laws of success, the 7 spiritual laws of success. So I started downloading the things that you kind of saw as a baseline onto my system. Okay, now I have these beliefs too, because I've got them from you.
Yeah.
Now that's my baseline too. Then when I work from there, I see, hey, if I want to go next level, I need to talk to more people doing this. What are they doing? What are their beliefs about food? How are they eating?
Yeah.
So for example, with Luke Belmar, with like the Tate brothers, many of the Iman Gaji too, their belief about food is, hey, carbohydrates are bad. You need to feed yourself with good fats and protein.
Mm-hmm.
They have a result that I want to emulate. They have a crazy business, great background, very well-spoken man too. That's something I want to emulate. Okay, let me see how I can do that too. Okay, I start eating mainly meat. I start obsessing over sleep. So continuously finding someone that has a worldview that can bring you to a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, for me initially it was like doing 10k with 3k profit, then like going to 100k with a 20k profit every month. And from here on, I really want to take it to the next level. I want to build a brand. That's what I'm going to focus on next. So for me, the next step is moving from Pinterest to Facebook and building my brand.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a solid baseline for a brand before I touch dropshipping again. I feel like at this point, yes, we've had a good year. Like I started with you last year, and last year I didn't think my life could change like this in just the span of 12 short months.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't think it was possible. But looking back at that, we have done some volume now. We really haven't built anything. You know, we have made this money.
Yeah.
We have done a few things. We have the skills. But if I want to go hard again on something right now, I want to make sure that it's something that's going to be with me for a few years and that it then can pass on for like a 2 or 3x multiple.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do next. But I think I've kind of drifted away from your question. I think really just what people should do, find someone with a way of thinking that inspires you,
Mm-hmm.
with an outcome that you want to emulate, and then start working with that.
And I want to challenge you on something, because I agree with you for a big part. One thing I maybe do not directly agree with is, of course, it's good to take advice from others, listen to others, take their beliefs, and if you're not at that point where you want to be, where they are, maybe you can indeed just copy everything they do. But at the same time, what I do see happening a lot and of course I see a lot of young entrepreneurs, is that they copy everything, which includes beliefs about food, like you said, beliefs about politics, things outside of what these people are good at. Like the people that you mentioned, they are good at making money, but they're, I don't know, but most likely not experts on food. They're not food scientists or dietists or anything, right? Do you feel like you should also copy those beliefs?
I mean it depends. The thing is, like, if your main goal, for example, for me, one of my main goals for this year is just optimize my health fully so I can really get the most out of my business. So these guys, they are not nutritionists. Like, they are no food experts. They certainly aren't. But what they have done is they have tried all of these different diets.
Mm-hmm.
They've went through the dirt. They've seen what worked and what didn't. So when all of them say, you can try this, for certain people it works, like, this is the thing, you can try it. You can see if it's something that suits your needs.
Mm-hmm.
And 100% you don't need to copy anything. Like you said, some guys, yes, you will see their political views too. You will see their social views. And you maybe think to yourself, that's completely not who I am. Then you shouldn't take them.
Yeah.
100% not. Because like you said, these guys are good at business. So try to take things business related. Mm-hmm. And for me at that time, food, even though it really isn't that business related, the right amount of food and the right foods can help you be better in business. So that's why initially I just went off of that to try it. And it ended up working.
I think you should test everything for yourself. And it's like, even though like me or someone like Luke Belmar or Iman Gatsi, we're not food experts, it's probably still better to take our advice on food than your mom's advice on food or someone else who is not very successful. So yeah, it's better to test that than to just don't have a diet at all or just eat whatever you want. And then later, when you have money, you can always improve on that later as well.
That's the thing. I think that the easiest thing to just take a step forward is see something that has been working, see if it works for you,
Mm-hmm.
and implement where needed. implement the steps that suit you. So I'm not completely copying their diets. I'm just seeing what they say, what their logics are behind it, and if it suits me, yeah, well, you can try it. And if it works, that's only gains.
Yeah.
You've just gained a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it probably works. Like it's not the biggest factor whether your business is gonna take off or not. If you just look business-wise, obviously you want to optimize your life in other areas as well. So that's why it is good to try different diets and to work out and all that. I mean that's something that I've been optimizing next to my businesses as well. I know like what works for me, diet-wise, workout-wise, sleeping, everything, and it's not just to have a bigger business or to grow in your business. It's also just to improve the quality of your life.
That's the thing.
I mean, I don't have to meditate. Well, it helps a lot, but I don't have to read about philosophy or meditate to grow my business. But it is something that I'm really interested in and it helps to improve the quality of my life. Now, of course, you should recognize when it's just an addiction and when it's actually helpful and benefiting to your life, because someone might argue, hey, I like going to McDonald's every day and it's improving my life. But then I think we deep down all know if something is really good or if it's actually bad.
Many things that feel really good, they really ain't the best.
If they feel good, like on the short term, usually it's not good.
Usually it's not the best.
Oh. Yeah. And one thing I wanted to talk about as well, like recently you gave a training in our course, in our program, with Jürgen.
Mm-hmm.
Jürgen is not here today because he's sick, unfortunately, but he's the mindset guy, the mindset man. You talked a little bit about like your mindset, like the things Jürgen helped you with, because you had some calls with Jürgen as well. What would you say are like the best, or say the top 2 or top 3 things that you had to change to go from like a beginner who kept failing at these businesses to making it successful? Maybe one is like to listen to what we say, to be coachable.
I think 100%. That's gonna be the first one. Just put your ego aside, because at that point my ego was just going through the roof. Looking back at it, like I never was talking about all of the great things I achieved, but inside of your mind, it's really easy to start telling yourself stories that what you are doing is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like you put in these hours, so you must be doing something good, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have to be that way. So killing your ego. I think there's a good book on this too. Ego is the enemy. I think, that's a little bit sidetracked, but that's a good book on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the main thing that set the foundation. So just killing your ego. I want to say the second thing is going to be, it's going to have to be the downloading sessions. So you and Jürgen obviously have introduced this to the program. But basically when you are doing a download session, it's a visualization meditation that has been really catered towards you. So what you go and do with Jürgen is you tell him, first you have like a few sessions talking about what you really want to be. Who are you now? Where do you want to go? What are the things holding you back from doing the things that you really want to do? And then what he's going to do is he is going to pack all of that in a visualization that's like 30 minutes long. So all of those negative beliefs get tackled. The things where you want to go get visualized. So you now start downloading this information into your mind. And you actually start moving yourself unconsciously towards this new version of yourself. And for the people that don't know, like 90% of the things that you do on a daily basis, 90% of the things that go on in your mind, they're unconscious. So if you can hack your unconscious, now you can change your own mind in real time. And you can actually start moving yourself towards a version that you actually want to be. So killing the ego, doing the downloads. I think the third thing is actually something we have just done recently. He made me read the book The Awakened Millionaire. I don't know if you know it.
No.
basically, the book really talks about like win-win-win scenarios. So, for example, a win-win-win is like this. Like, you help people with coaching,
Mm-hmm.
you help me win. Now maybe we start collaborating on a store together. Now I help you win back in return.
Mm-hmm.
And now we can also do a podcast,
Which we are doing, by the way.
which we are doing. Yeah, that's the fun thing. But someone watching at home, he can now watch this and get inspired. So by doing this course, you have created a win-win-win
Mm-hmm.
where you win, I win, and someone at home wins. So what do I want to do with ecom? I think dropshipping is amazing, but if I want to build something new and I really want to go hard for it, I just want to create win-win-wins. I don't necessarily want to sell something you put on a crane to extend it and to you know what I mean? But maybe I'll still do it on the side, but if I'm gonna build something, I really want to make a win-win-win
Mm-hmm.
for me, for the person, and for the world around us. I know ecom isn't the most eco-friendly business model there is in the world, but I just do something with impact, you know. So that's gonna be the third one, and maybe in the short term that's gonna cost me some money. Yeah, so be it.
Yeah, but I think it shouldn't all be all about money, right? I mean, you can make a ton of money, but if that's the only thing that you care about, then what's the point?
That's the thing. But having said that, though, I think initially, especially with dropshipping, you just go and need to make some fucking money. You need to do it.
Absolutely, but it's not about the money.
Yeah,
Like for
it's
a
about
lot
the
of
starting
people,
capital to actually start doing something.
yeah, a lot of people that they start out because they think they want to make money, but the money, like, you just have to realize money is just a resource to get what you want. You never want the money. And even if it's the large sum of money in your bank account, then you don't want that large sum of money in your bank account. You want the status that comes
Yeah.
with that. Even if you think it's just the money you want, no, it's not the money, it's the status you want.
Money is
Which
just
which is a very empty goal. So
Yeah.
then I highly suggest, if that's your goal, to dig a little bit deeper.
Mm.
But it's just a resource.
That's the thing, really. It's just something that can get you further in life. It's something that can help you realize the things that you actually want to do. And for the people watching, I know at the moment you may just think, hey, I'm in a job, I'm in school, I don't fucking like it. I just want the money. Trust me, you don't want the money.
Mm-hmm.
Like you just said, like it's not the thing that's ultimately gonna make you happy.
There are plenty of studies about people who won lotteries and stuff like that. Didn't improve their life.
Didn't improve their life.
You want to grow. You want to you don't want the money. You want to be the person that made that money, that you became while making that money. That's what you want to be, or you want to have it in order to use it for something, to build something, whatever it is. And a question for you. Is there something like, do you have like a purpose, or is there something like a bigger goal that you want to fulfill?
Quite a few. I would say at the moment, like I said, my dad got fired a few years ago, and my parents, they're still managing. It's not that they are suffering or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen like their lifestyle and their means of life heavily decline. So seeing that, like I said, they have always had the best for me. I want to be able to just say, listen, you go out for dinner, you go have fun, take the money, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
To just give them back what they gave me. And even though I don't think the way they raised us was the most fun, I really don't think that. I think it's... Listen, I love them with all my heart, but having said that, like, the way they raised us, it did make me and my sister into the people we are today, but it wasn't the most fun. But still, they deserve the best.
Yeah.
For the way they took care of me. So I want to take care of them too.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my goals. The second one is just actualization of self. Like you said, becoming the person who can make the money is much more fun than actually making the money.
Yeah.
You know, just seeing, hey, 3 months ago I was doing this. I've changed a few things along the way. I kept going, and now I'm this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's addicting as fuck. Just this entire journey itself, that's crazy fun. So improving yourself, actualization of self, that's my second purpose. Third one, I want to help people grow on a deeper level. whatever that's gonna be. It's quite vague still. I want to help people grow, connect with themselves on a deeper level. That's what I really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
How I'm going to do it? With the brand that I want to build, I have a feeling about it. I have a few products that I think will really help with this.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't had feedback from the market yet. I still need to launch it. But Jürgen keeps telling me you need to start with this now. Just get started. Try things. See how you can help people. Even if it's not on a bigger scale yet, just do something. So yeah, those 3 things are really what, besides the money, because obviously I like making money, I like the freedom that it gives, but that's what really keeps me going.
Okay, great. That's good. Not everyone has a goal like that or a purpose like that, whatever you want to call it, but I think it's always good to have something like that to stay motivated, to keep you going, even on days where you're maybe not as motivated. But then you can always think of, hey, I'm doing this for my parents, or doing this to become better, to grow, to be better. I think what's the fun thing when in these podcasts, these stories are so different but also familiar. Like almost everyone has like up down, and then finally they found something that works, and who knows, maybe there will be a big down again. But I think everyone that sat here by now has the mindset, no matter what happens, I will climb back up again. And that's amazing to see. And I feel like the people that are watching this, that's maybe one of the biggest benefits of watching this, is just realizing, hey, I thought I had to give up because I also failed a couple times, but now I saw this story. You know what? I'm just gonna pick it back up again.
That's the thing.
And that helps with your third goal, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people are gonna watch this and think, I wanted to give up, but I'm going.
Just keep going one more day.
Yeah,
and then by tomorrow you think, it's not as bad as I thought. I'm just gonna keep going.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. I'm out of questions. I think we can talk a lot more, but then maybe it becomes a little bit more about too business and or too technical. Is there something, just one final thing, one more thing, words of motivation, or just one tip, one golden nugget that helped you to become successful that you can share?
I think I don't really have something from the story itself, but mainly just something I've really been working on now. Personal leadership. Like I think some people back home, they are putting in the hours. They are doing the things they think are needed. Just whenever you are doing something, really pay close attention to the way you are talking to yourself. Let's say you are making a product page. What are the words that come into your mind? Are they positive? Are they negative? Are they steering you in the direction that you want? Because like I said, most of the things that you do, they're unconscious. Just like the thoughts that you have in your mind. And the thoughts that you have in your mind, they kind of control the life that you have. So be really conscious what you think, what you believe about yourself, the thoughts that you put in your mind. And if you start noticing that you're really negative towards yourself, interrupt yourself and put positive thoughts back into place for that. And it's really tough. It's something I'm really working on right now. But just controlling this inner world dialogue will make a massive difference, really, in the starting days. Because if you are just starting out, things are going to be really... they can be frustrating, man. You're testing 20 products, nothing worked. What are you going to do now? Keep talking to yourself positive. Don't beat yourself up over it. That you have failed doesn't mean that you can't do it. It's just a sign for you to keep trying one more time and to give a bit more. That's all.
Do you meditate?
Yeah.
A lot? Or
I used to do it a lot. Right now it's like 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
Just for like 30 minutes. I lay in my bathtub.
That's good.
Just like some meditation music.
Because what you said about be conscious of what you think, I think mindfulness meditation is gonna... It's kind of like the fitness to become better at that.
Yeah. There's also one thing, like, I think it's in the coaching too, right?
That's why I put it there.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it. Great.
Don't-
Thank
don't-
you.
don't
Thank you
skip.
for being here. Thank you for your inspiring words. I'm 100% sure a lot of people are motivated by this, and I'm very curious to see where you're going in the future.
Yes. Thanks
you.
for the invite, man.